But right now, let's get to the rest of the Week 11 headlines. Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins have been the perfect 1-2 combo for the Vikings as they've won 5 of their last 6, climbing to within 1 game of the NFC North leading pack. Outside looking in at the NFC playoff picture, the Niners remain the top seed. The Packers moved up and had the other first-round bye, while the Saints and the Cowboys lead their respective divisions. The Seahawks and the Vikings hold the wild card. Over in the AFC playoff picture, the Patriots and the Ravens are the top 2 seeds, with the Texans and the Chiefs atop their respective divisions. The Bills hold 1 wild card, while the Raiders moved into the other wild card by virtue of the Steelers' loss on Thursday. Meanwhile, here inside of Studio 43, uniforms all together now, right, Bill and Nate? Hey, look, I'm joined at the desk by guys who can talk plenty of football. That will be Phil Simms, Coach Bill Cowher, Nate Burleson, and Boomer Esiason. But in regard to Kaepernick, obviously a very difficult situation. Your take, Phil?
Well, my take was, when I heard it was going to happen, I was thinking nothing but good things. Here's what I thought. Okay, Colin Kaepernick will go down there. He's going to be in great shape. He's going to throw footballs. He can throw lasers, has a strong arm, and all that. And some team will look at him and go, wow, let's bring this guy in now as the 3rd quarterback, get him in shape and see if he's good enough and can do what we want to maybe be part of our football team the next year. And, of course, that means having a balance for him and the team about social justice, and also the team having a balance with and him and the team, that balance for social justice. But after seeing it all, how it transformed and came down, I don't have much hope.
Now, when I first heard about it, I thought it was a little last minute, a little bit out of the blue. And then from my understanding, they weren't on the same page when it came to media coverage, who's going to be filming it, who would have the rights to film it, and then the wide receivers. Now, in regards to him having his own wide receivers, I'm fine with that. I mean, you look at a home run derby, even the guy hitting is going to have his own pitcher. Now, I feel like when he has to make a decision to compromise, he's a little guarded. I mean, ever since he took a knee for social issues, everybody's been trying to control his narrative. And in this moment, I feel like he wanted to control the narrative of this workout, which is why it went from the bigger one to the smaller one at the high school. Now, if he is going to play again, which I don't know if that's going to happen, there has to be compromise. Not compromise of your integrity, what you believe in, but just contractually on both sides, Cap, in the league.
You know, I don't think there's going to be, excuse me, one team in the league that's going to want to deal with this fiasco. That's the reality of it. Colin said yesterday, I've been ready for 3 years and I've been denied for 3 years. I say get ready for another lawsuit. And I think this shakedown is going to continue. I think he's going to push the limits with the league, and he's going to force the league to pay him yet another sum of money here sooner or later.
You know, I sat there and said, why is he having this now? It's week 11. It's about the platform. If it was about football and football was important to him, why did he not have his workout in these last 2 off seasons where he had a chance to sit down with every team, go into a camp, learn a system, and fight for a starting job? I applaud his issue and initiative on social justice. But when you hear him, I want to hear him. Not heard him talk in 2.5 years. All I heard was I was attacked. I was victimized. I feel entitled. He never mentioned football. This is an individual right now that playing football to me in the National Football League or being in the National Football League, it's a privilege. It's not an entitlement. He does not like football. It's not important to him. He loves the platform.
And Bill, there have been numerous opportunities for him to control the narrative by speaking himself, and he's not. And look, as my colleagues have said, I agree with them totally. Colin Kaepernick missed the opportunity both to return to, play, and more meaningfully to further impact social justice on the broader and the bigger platform of the NFL. I'm totally in agreement with the passion that Colin has for justice and that which is driving him to do all that is possible to address and eradicate the undeniable systemic racism that permeates most communities of color in this country, period. And I've admired him and his unrelenting spirit for that cause by his dedicated work and his financial commitment. I get all of that. And as Olympic gold medalist Tommy Smith said, that marginalized and voiceless people have always had to take advantage of a moment and a platform to speak truth to power. And Colin has done that. But it's also abundantly clear, however, that there is immense mutual distrust in the relationship between Kaepernick and the league, its office, owners, and teams, as evidenced by yesterday's fiasco. But that notwithstanding, it was an opportunity, no matter how you cut it, to build a bridge toward a return to the league. 25 teams expressed their interest to come see the workout, and he didn't take advantage of it. Now, history has shown that to move forward, it is most effectively done inclusively, to move from protest to progress. And this was a moment missed.
Straight ahead on the NFL today, the Patriots.
Kirk Cousins has led the Vikings to 5 wins in their last 6 games, but he's not doing it all alone. He's just one half of the reason why their offense is clicking. And in this edition of Golden Moments, brought to you by McDonald's. Well, the Vikings and that dynamic duo will host the Broncos at the top of the hour here on CBS. Kirk Cousins sure has been on a roll lately, Nate.
That's right, JB. Check out these numbers. The last 6 games, 5-1, 15 touchdowns to 1 interception. And this is around the same time Zach Brown, then Eagles for the linebacker, said he's the weakest link of his offense. I feel like Kirk Cousins went from Mr. Dad joke to I ain't no joke. He's been balling out. And Dalvin Cook, check this out. Through 10 games, he has more all-scrimmage yards than Adrian Peterson did in his MVP season. So if you don't mention him as one of the best in the game, you're out of your mind. Brandon Allen won his first start against Cleveland in Week 9. He's going to have a tough day today, but he better hit Cortland Sutton if you want to make things go.
Wow, nice behind your back.
The business right now, he has the numbers to prove it. Dalvin Cook leads the league in scrimmage yards. He's second in rushing, third in touchdowns. He has that rare combination of speed, quickness, and power at the running back position. And how about Kirk Cousins, who's off to his best start since Week 5? He leads the league in passing yards and touchdowns. In fact, in his last 6 games, he's thrown 15 touchdowns and just 1 interception.
Rich, he's going to be without his Pro Bowl wide receiver Adam Thielen again today and lean heavily on Stephon Diggs.
And he is a vertical threat who can take the top off of the defense. Stephon Diggs leads the league in catches of 25 yards or more with 11.
Rich, what do you think of Broncos?
Career highs in all of those categories.
If you like edge rushers, you're going to love today because we got 2 of the best in the NFL on display.
You're right, 2 really good ones. Danielle Hunter leads the Vikings with 8.5 sacks, and Von Miller has been quiet so far this season, just 4 sacks, but don't count out one of the elite pass rushers in the game in Von Miller.
The Vikings are number 6 in the NFC, unbeaten at home and coming off 2 high-profile road games. The Broncos are coming off a win and a bye. Back to New York in the NFL today after this.
So no argument. Well, good. He's a great rookie. Christian McCaffrey, number 2. Total touchdowns, leads the league, 14. He does everything, running, catching. Who thought he was going to do all this stuff? He's done it. But number 1, you said it, JB. Dalvin Cook, 900, almost 1,000 yards rushing. Great screen catcher, no doubt about it. He breaks a lot of tackles. He steals yards. So I missed some guys there that I did not get to go to. And Derrick Henry, Leonard Fournette, Nick Chubb,
Stop talking about him. You gave us your 5.
Yeah, don't try to add in the guys you didn't put in.
You know, I don't have a problem with your number 1 or your number 2 because both of those guys are dual threats. They catch the ball out of the backfield, and you can see that Dalvin Cook is really back from his knee injury. And Christian McCaffrey, he's a 100-yard guy every single time he steps foot on the field. But what about Leonard Fournette?
To Minneapolis for the sights and sounds of the game between the Broncos and the Vikings. Let's join our announcers, Kevin Harlan, Rich Gannon, and Jay Feely.
Indoors in downtown Minneapolis as the Denver Broncos play the Minnesota Vikings. One of the top rushers in the National Football League, the dynamic Dalvin Cook. And every move he makes will be watched by the highly decorated Von Miller. All a part of our story here in the Upper Midwest from the Twin Cities. And we say good afternoon. Kevin Harlan with the NFL MVP Rich Gannon on our sideline. Jay Feely will check in with him in just a second. This Viking team, a red-hot offense right now. The quarterback playing great, and their running back is out of this world.
They've got one of the best running backs in the business, and he certainly has the numbers to prove it. You look what Dalvin Cook has done so far this season. He leads the league in scrimmage yards, second in rushing, solid season. He's actually played some of his best football since week 5. He leads the league in passing yards and touchdowns. In fact, during that stretch, he's completed over 70% of his passes and thrown 15 touchdowns and just 1 interception.
Well, Jay Feely, if you can hear me in this loud building, they had a huge win last week. This Viking team did, and now they are going into a bye after this one.
I can hear you, Kevin. It's tough. You know, the Vikings started 2-2. They've been fighting for playoff relevance, but they go 5-1 in their last 6 games. They go down, get the huge win at Dallas. You'd think Mike Zimmer would be happy. No, sir. He said he was grouchy all week, that he was on the warpath. Worried that his team might lose focus this week with the bye week coming up, facing a Denver team that only has 3 wins. So what did he do? Monday morning, he showed his team footage of Sutton on offense and Lindsey, Miller and Wolf on defense, and said in his own words he ripped his defense for their pass coverage against Dallas. But Rich, you and I both saw a very focused and energetic practice on Friday.
Jake, you're right. As you know, the best teams in our business have the ability to handle success and avoid complacency.
Well, today they take on a Denver defense ranked number 4 in the league.
They've been a top 5 defense most of the season. This is a really well-coached unit. They're 4th in total defense and pass defense, 2nd in the red zone. This is a group that keeps the mistakes and big plays to a minimum. They really make you earn it.
Well, the injured quarterback Joe Flacco has been replaced by Brandon Allen. 1 game played in the league, and now he plays on the road today for the first time.
Yeah, he was aggressive in his first start. He made quick decisions. He got the ball up and down. And, you know, the other thing is with Brandon Allen, when things break down around him, he can extend plays with his legs, and that's going to be really important today against this Minnesota pass rush.
This now takes us to the Home Depot to Project Smarter.
Well, the key for Denver is their run game, and it starts with the Pro Bowler Philip Lindsay, who has the power to run inside the tackles and the speed to bounce runs outside. And keep an eye on tight end Kyle Rudolph, who has taken advantage of the extra opportunities and targets with the injury to Adam Thielen. He's been really effective down in the red zone. And now for the keys to the game, Minnesota needs to start fast, build a lead, and force Denver to have to throw the football. That's really not what they want to do. And Denver needs to win the rushing differential and be smart with the football, especially in this environment on the road.
The Vikings are number 6 in the NFC. They are just in back of the idle Green Bay Packers. The Broncos have won 3 of their last 5, and they are well rested. The Broncos, the Vikings, next on CBS. Minneapolis, Minnesota, CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings.
3 Buffalo, 14 Miami.
The shocker of the day, the Denver Broncos going to Minnesota. You're going to see right here Brandon Allen. He's going to find Phil McGauley for his 3-yard touchdown pass. And Phil's number 1 back, Dalvin Cook, has got 9 yards.
They're up 20-3 at half.
All right, how about this Broncos offense, guys? Brandon Allen, he's going to find Corbin Sutton 47 yards down the field. You know what? You go in as an underdog, you take shots down the field, you do different types of things. You put your young quarterback in a spot to throw some touchdown passes to Phil McGauley right there. Direct snap to Lindsey. He flips it to Corbin Sutton. He's got a better run than Phil Simms. Look at this right down the field. Another trickeration play. They are all over. I mean, all over Minnesota. This reminds me of the Buffalo Bills going into Minnesota last year with Josh Allen as a rookie quarterback and jumping over guys, and they just have more energy than the Minnesota Vikings right now.
That's right. And if you have a young quarterback playing, the defense is going to have to step up, and they're stepping up big. You know, I know you made the point that Dalvin Cook is being shut down right now, but if you're the Minnesota Vikings, then you got to get that pass game going. That's a total of 55 yards in the air. So if you can't run the ball, the passing game has to step up.
I mean, when you look at this team, they are just, they're running the football. They're not turning the football over. The defense is getting sacks. And as you talked about, Phil, what they've done on defense right now has been remarkable. And I think a lot of credit goes to their head coach.
Hey, Vic Fangio, he showed, look, I'm willing to change.
What a comeback for the Minnesota Vikings, Kevin. They played so
Really
poorly.
shocking.
They played so poorly in the first half.
And that was a comeback.
Yeah, there's a push-off there. You see the tight end. He's pushing Curse trying to hold on for dear life. That ball had some velocity on it. A very hard one for the tight end to handle. With 28 unanswered points in the second half for the Minnesota Vikings, and now they head into their bye at 8-3.
And that comeback was against the number 4 defense in the NFL. The Broncos go to 3-7. But Minnesota will go to 8-3. Green Bay is idle. A thriller in the Twin Cities. For Rich Gannon, Jay Feely, and Gene Steratore, Kevin Harlan saying good night from Minneapolis. We'll get you back to the New York studios of CBS and the NFL Today update delivered by Pizza Hut right after this.